Well, hello and a very warm welcome to Business Today TV. I am Chetan, Bhutani. Well, Maruti Suzuki has closed the financial year with record set of numbers and achieving brand new milestone. And I am joined with the chairman, Mr. R.C Bhargava. Thank you, Bhargava sir, for joining us. A record net profit of 8.9 crores, 42% up year on year. What is happening? Maruti Suzuki is on fire these days with respect to performance. Tell us the numbers, sir.
No, it's not as if we have done much better than last year.
Right.
But you have to remember that after 2018-19, this industry has never had what one could term as a normal year. In 1920, sales went down by 18% for the industry because of BS6 and other reasons. Then we had COVID. Then we had this problem of semiconductors. So there's been nothing like a normal year with which you can compare. But if you look at our figures, and if you look at what happened 4 years ago, we are not that much better than what we were 4 years ago. Yes, we are the highest ever, but only by a small amount, and that small amount is the result of 4 years elapsing. So it's not as if things are on fire or anything like that. It's just that this period of, what should I say, uncertainty and difficulties seems now to be coming to an end.
Right. Bhargava sir, also, I'd like to ask you on the sustainability as far as the profit goes. Do you think you will be able to sustain these profits in the year going ahead?
Who can answer about sustainability of profits? Because they depend on so many variables, lots of which are outside anybody's control, that one has to see what happens. But we have always done our best to sustain the margins and sustain profits, keeping customer requirements in mind, but keeping also shareholders' interests in mind. So one has to see what is the right balance. And I think it's reasonable to expect that things will be okay.
Right. Okay. So commodity prices are quite stable for quite a while. Can you give us an outlook on the margins and again the sustainability of margins goes?
Same question that, foreign exchange, for example, foreign exchange rates. Now, how do I predict what will be happen in the next 12 months? Makes a big difference.
Absolutely.
Commodity prices. Suddenly China has something happening, then prices, it has such a big impact on prices, what happens in China. If industry shuts down because of COVID, something happens. If industry revives and China starts exporting in double digits, something else happens.
Right. Sure. Also, Bhargava sir, when we were actually, hearing you out and we saw the press release as well, the capacity expansion is something that, the focus area was on. Adding about 1 million of capacity. Could you give us the details on that?
There are no details now, except that both Maruti Suzuki and Suzuki have tried to assess what the market situation will be going forward till the end of this decade. And based on that assessment, an estimate of how things will happen, and also looking at the growing possibilities of exporting larger and larger vehicles, numbers of vehicles. Taking all of that into account, we came to the conclusion that we will need to add more capacity. And that could be up to 1 million.
Okay.
So how we will phase it out and all of that will depend on how market conditions develop. But we do want to start having a different site on which to expand and start work there as soon as possible, which may take till the end of this year or next year, beginning or something like that. But we want to have that option to expand fast if we need to.
Okay. And sir, how much investments would that go into, sir?
Again, no investments have been approved yet.
Okay.
Because we have yet to find the site itself, let alone the investments.
So would it be in Gujarat and Haryana as well, or are you exploring other states?
But I don't know. I mean, today is very difficult to say where the expansion happens. Unlikely to be Haryana because we are already working at a new site in Haryana.
Right.
So it's not likely to be Haryana, that's for sure. Where it will be, I can't say today.
Sure. Also, Bhargav sir, considering the geopolitical situation that we've been talking about, and you also mentioned about crisis in China, I'd like to ask you on exports, and also does it also kind of affect the royalty payments?
Royalty payments is related by an agreement between Suzuki and Maruti.
Right.
And as you've seen this year also, I think we've been paying something like the net royalty is 3.6%.
Right.
That's what the results. And against the 3.6%, we also received from Suzuki reimbursement for the work done in developing models in India, which is not included in this 3.6. So actually, if you include that, I'm not sure what the figure will be, but it'll come down probably to around 3% or something.
Sure, sir. Also, sir, what is your outlook on the El Nino and, of course, the deficit monsoons? Do you think it would probably create some impact on sales?
Well, that is one of the worrying when I told you of uncertainties. This year's monsoon, because El Nino seems to be again playing up this year. And a bad monsoon year is certainly not good for business in the rural areas.
Right. And also, sir, keeping the domestic demand in purview, urban versus rural has always been the concept. But what is the line that you're seeing as far as the urban sales versus rural sales go?
Sorry,
urban sales versus rural sales, sir. What is the demand coming from?
It depends on, again, as I said, if there's a good rural economic upsurge because of monsoons and things, the rural sales move up faster. For several years, rural sales were moving much faster than urban sales.
Right.
But last year, I think urban sales moved faster.
Right. Also, sir, if I come on the prices of vehicles, the car prices are up. Do you think that regulatory frameworks, coming up by the government, are leading to hike in prices, or is it because the commodity prices needs to be adjusted that were earlier hiked?
See, the commodity prices, when they go up, they add substantially to costs. And most manufacturers at that time adjust prices, not fully, but at least partly to reflect the additional cost of the commodity prices. If you look at the price announcements made by most companies, they mostly say that we have to make a price adjustment to cover the rising costs of production because of commodity price increases. Now, if the price falls for commodities subsequently, then your margins go up.
Right.
Because the prices once reduced don't come down.
Fair enough. And also, are you of the opinion that the regulatory framework and the regulations put in by the government for like OBD2 norms, maybe BS6 Part 2 norms, and all other norms, is it leading to hike in prices, sir?
See, if you want to make your vehicles safer for the user of the vehicle particularly, then you have to add a number of new features to the vehicle to make it safer.
Correct.
And if you add those new features, then the costs have to go up. You can't add a lot of new features to vehicles, including electronics and other gadgets and things, without adding to cost. But it's what you have to pay for higher safety.
Absolutely, sir. And last question, sir. We also heard about 6 electric vehicle launches. Is it on track? And could you give us some sense on what could be the first electric vehicle look like?
It was exhibited in the auto show. It's an SUV.
Right. But I mean to say, when can we actually see it on the road, and is it on track?
It's on track. It's being manufactured in the Suzuki plant. The Suzuki is manufacturing it. And it's on track. It'll be.
Mr. Bhargava, thank you so much for joining us, sir.
Thank you.
If you like the video, do like, comment, share and subscribe.